problem I have is how to discipline her without breaking her spirit. But I shall insist on reasonable obedience. You can start ink. It has a name. Down. Under. Up. And be careful of that needle. Fine. If you can keep out of the ink, I'll try to keep out of the soup. These blots are her handiwork. All right, let's try temperance. Bad girl. Good girl. Very good girl.
What are you saying to her?
I was just making conversation, saying it was a sewing card.
But does she know that that means that?
No, she won't know what spelling is, so she knows what a word is.
But you keep spelling to her. Why?
I like to hear myself talk.
Well, Captain says it's like spelling to the fence post.
Does he now?
Well, is it?
No, it's how I see you talk to Mildred.
Talk to Mildred.
Any baby. Gibberish. Grown-up gibberish. Baby talk gibberish. Do they understand one word to start? Somehow they begin to. If they hear it, I'm letting Helen hear it.
But other children are not impaired.
There's nothing impaired in that head. It works like a mousetrap.
And after a child hears how many words, Miss Amy? A million?
I guess no mother's ever minded enough to count.
And what did she spell?
I spelled card. She spelled cake. No, it's only a finger game for her, Mrs. Keller. What she has to learn first is that things have names.
Well, when will she learn?
Maybe after 1,000,001 words.
Miss Amy, I should like to learn those letters.
I'll teach you tomorrow. Makes only 500,000 each.
It is her bedtime now.
Ow!
Oh, Miss Amy! Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry.
Why did she get a reward for stabbing me?
Well, we catch our flies with honey, Miss Amy. We haven't the heart for much else, and she just cannot be compelled.
Yes, I'm the same way myself. more I think, the more certain I am that obedience is the gateway in which knowledge enters the mind of the child.
Breakfast is ready!
No, but should we give the devil his due, Father? The fact is, we lost the South 2 years earlier when he outlawed us at Vicksburg.
Well, outlaw is a peculiar word for a butcher.
Harness maker, wasn't he?
Now, I said butcher. His only virtue as a soldier was numbers. He led them to slaughter with as much regard as so many sheep.
Well, even in the sense he was a butcher, the fact is he did.
And a drunk one half the war.
Agreed, Father. His own people said he was. I cannot argue.
Jimmy, what is it you find to admire in such a man? The butchery or the drunkenness?
Neither, Father, only the fact that he beat us.
He did not.
Is it your contention we won the war, sir?
He didn't beat us at Vicksburg. We lost Vicksburg because Pemberton gave Bragg 5,000 of his cavalry. And Loring, whom I knew personally for a nincompoop before you were born, well, he marched away from Champions Hill with enough men to have held him. We lost Vicksburg by sheer stupidity, verging on treason.
I would say we lost Vicksburg because Grant was one thing, no Yankee general was before him.
A drunk? I doubt it.
Obstinate.
Obstinate? Could any of them even compare with that old Stonewall? If he'd been there, we'd still have Vicksburg.
Well, the butcher simply wouldn't give up. He tried 4 ways of getting around us, and on the 5th try, he got around. Anyone else would have pulled sword.
He wouldn't have got around if we had a Southerner in command instead of some half-bred Yankee trainer like Pemberton. Now what's the matter there?
Miss Annie, Helen was accustomed to taking from our plate whatever she wants.
Yes, but I'm not accustomed to it.
Well, certainly not fighting!
Jimmy, give her something to quiet her.
Well, her manners are the best she has.
Please let her this time, Miss Sullivan. It's the only way we get any adult conversation at the table. If my son Hap merits that description. Now I will get you another plate.
I have a plate, thank you.
Honey, what the captain says is too true, Miss Annie. And she will keep this up until she gets what she wants.
Fighting! Bring Miss Sullivan another plate!
I have a plate. Nothing's wrong with the plate. I intend to keep it.
Ha! You see why they took Vicksburg?
Boy. Now, Miss Sullivan, one plate or another is hardly a matter to struggle with a proud child about.
Oh, I do have a more wrong issue myself.
Now, I really must insist. Now she's hurt herself.
No, she hasn't.
Will you please let her hands go?
Miss Annie, I just don't think you know Helen well enough.
I know an ordinary tantrum well enough when I see one, and a badly spoiled child at that.
Here, here.
Boy. Miss Sullivan, you have more understanding of your pupil if you had some pity in you. Now kindly do as I say.
Kitty! This tyrant! The whole house turns on her every whim. Is there anything she wants that she doesn't get? I'll tell you what I pity. That the sun won't rise and set for all her life. And every day you're telling her that it will. What good will your pity do when you're under the strawberries, Captain Keller?
Katie, for the love of heaven, would you please?
Miss Annie, it does not serve any purpose to lose our
It does you good, that's all. It's less trouble to feel sorry for her than to do anything better, isn't it?
Well, I fail to see if you have taught her anything yet, Miss Sullivan.
I'll begin this minute if you leave the room, Captain Keller.
What? Leave the room?
Everyone, please.
Now you are here only as a paid teacher and nothing more. It's certainly not to lecture
I
anyone
can't
about.
not teach your ears of pity if you can't stand up to one tantrum. Old Stonewall, indeed. Mrs. Keller, you promised me help.
Indeed, we did, and Miss Annie, we want.
Then leave me alone with her. Now.
Katie, I would like to speak to you outside. At once, please.
Oh, heaven! Out, please.
It takes all summer, General.
Now this girl, this cub of a girl presumes, I tell you I'm a path of mine to ship her back to Boston on the next train. You may inform her so from me.
Hi, Captain.
Well, she is a hireling. Now I want it clear unless there's an apology and complete change of manner, she goes back on the next train. Will you make it clear?
And where will you be, Captain, while I am making that clear?
At the office.
Will you? I thought what she said was exceptionally intelligent. I've been saying it for years.
To his face? Or do you take it, Jimmy, as a flag?
Good girl.
Miss Kate, what am I gonna do? It's noontime. It's almost dinner time, and I don't have those breakfast dishes out of there yet.
Martha, was you trying along?
I can't wait out here a minute longer, Kate. Why, this could go on all afternoon, too.
Well, I'll tell Captain and cause.
You hear what Miss Kate say? Now you just mind your business. You run along now. Run along now. See what you like, Kate, but that child is a Keller. I needn't remind you that all Kellers are cousins to General Robert E. Lee. I don't know who that girl is. And the only Sullivans I've heard of, and from Boston, too, and, well, I'd think twice before locking her up with that kind, is that man, John L. Ooh. You give it to me. I was thinking of her back in her crib.
This child, Bonnie, she never gives me a minute's worry.
Oh, no. This one's the angel of the family, that's for sure.
What? Oh, goodness. What happened?
She ate from her own plate. She ate with a spoon, herself. And she folded her napkin.
She folded her napkin.
The room's a wreck, but her napkin is folded. I'll be in my room, Mrs. Keller.
Don't be long, Miss Annie. Supper be ready right away.
Folded her napkin. My Helen folded her napkin.
This soul, this blind, deaf, mute woman, can nothing be done to disinter this human soul? The whole neighborhood would rush out to save this woman had she been buried alive by the caving in of a pit, and labored with zeal until she were dug out. If there were only one who had as much patience as zeal, he might awaken her to the consciousness of her immortal...
Annie? Annie, are you there?
Hush.
Annie, what's that noise?
It's just a cot, Jimmy.
Where are they pushing it?
The dead house.
Annie, does it hurt to be dead?
But there is schools outside, girl. Schools where they teach blind ones. Worse than you even, to read and write.
You ain't going to school, are you, Annie?
When I grow up,
You ain't either, Annie. You're gonna stay right here and take care of me.
I'm going to school when I grow up.
But you said we'd be together forever and ever.
I'm going to school when I grow up!
Little girl, I must tell you, your brother will be going on a journey soon.
Annie!
Goodbye, Annie.
Right here when you learn how.
Don't tell anyone you came from here. Don't tell anyone.
Annie, it hurts to be dead. Forever.
Might awaken her to the consciousness of her immortal nature. The chance is small indeed, but with the smallest chance they would have dug desperately in the pit for her. Is the life of the soul of less import than that of the body?
Now, Katie, I will not have it. Now, you did not see when after supper tonight that girl went to look for Helen in her room.
No.
Well, the child practically climbed out of her window to get away from her. Now, what kind of teacher is she? I thought I had seen her at her worst this morning, shouting at me, but I come home to find this entire house disorganized by her. And now, Helen won't even come to be at the same table with her. She won't let herself be bathed or undressed or put to bed by her, or even by Barney now. And the end result is that you have to do more for this child than before we even hired this girl's services. From the moment she stepped off that train, she has been nothing but a burden, incompetent, ineffectual, immodest,
She folded her napkin, Captain.
What?
It's not been ineffectual. Helen folded her napkin.
Now what in heaven's name is so extraordinary about folding a napkin?
Well, it's more than you did, Captain.
Katie, I did not bring you all the way out to the garden house to be frivolous. Now, how does this Miss Sullivan propose to teach a deafblind pupil who won't even let her touch her?
I don't know.
Well, the fact of the matter is, she scuttled any chances she ever had of getting along with that child. If you can see any point or purpose of her staying on here
What
longer,
do you want me to do?
I want you to give her notice.
Oh, I can't do that.
Well, then if you won't, I must. I simply will not allow her. Miss Sullivan.
Captain Keller, Viney said I'd find you both over here in the garden house. I thought we should have a talk.
Yes, come in. Katie?
Captain,
Well, I first wanted to make my position clear to Mrs. Keller in private. The fact is, I am deeply dissatisfied in the manner in which that you
Excuse
have...
me, is this little house ever in use?
In the hunting season. Now, if you will please, give me your attention, Miss Sullivan. Now, I have tried to make allowances for you, because you come from a part of the country where people are, well, women, I should say, come from whom, well, allowances must be made. Nevertheless, I have decided, I find it difficult to talk through those glasses.
Of course.
Now, why do you wear them? The sun has been down for over an hour.
Any kind of light hurts my eyes.
Put them back on, Miss Sullivan. I have decided to give you another chance.
Do what?
To remain in our employ, young lady, but on two conditions. I am not accustomed to rudeness in servants or women, and that is the first. If you are to stay, there must be a radical change of manner.
Whose?
Yours, young lady! Isn't it obvious? And the second is that you persuade me there is the slightest hope of you getting along with a child who now flees from you like the plague to anyone else that she can find in the house.
There isn't.
what, Miss Annie?
It's hopeless here. I can't teach a child who runs away.
Well, then do you propose
Well,
that...
if we all agree it's hopeless, the next question is what's
Miss
the
Annie, I do not agree it's hopeless. I think you underestimate our Helen.
I think everybody else here does.
She did fold that napkin. She learns. She can learn, Miss Annie. What? Do you know? She was talking at only 6 months old. 6 months. She could say water. I mean, was it really water? It's more like wah-wah, wah-wah. But she meant water. She knew what it meant at only 6 months old. We had never seen a more bright or energetic child. Oh, God, I wish you could have met her before she got sick. She was just so good-tempered.
She's changed.
Miss Annie, put up with it. And with us.
With us.
Please, like that lost lamb in the parable, I love her all the more.
Mrs. Keller, I don't think Helensworth's handicap is deafness or blindness. I think it's your love and pity.
And what does that mean?
All of you here are so sorry for you. Kept her like a pet, why, even a dog you housebreak. No wonder she won't let me come near her. It's pointless for me to try to teach her language or anything else for that matter. I might as well be trying to teach Mildred.
Miss Annie, before you came to us, we had talked with Miss Helen in an asylum.
What kind of asylum?
For mental defectives.
I visited there, and I can't tell you what I saw. There people like animals, and there were rats in the hallway. What are we to do if you give up?
Give up.
What? You just said it was hopeless.
Here. Give up, why? Only today something has to be done to begin. I want complete charge of her.
You already have that. That's resulted in
No.
complete chaos around
Day
it.
and night. She has to be dependent on me.
For what?
Everything. The food she eats, the clothes she wears, the air. Yes, even the air she breathes. Whatever her body needs is a primer to teach her out of. And what's her habit should be her teacher. Not anyone who loves her. You have so many feelings, they follow each other like feet. You won't use your chances, you won't let me use mine.
But she runs from you to us.
Yes, that's the point. I'll have to live with her somewhere else.
What?
So she learns to depend on and listen to me.
For how long?
As long as it takes. I've packed half my things already.
Miss Sullivan,
Captain Keller! It meets both your conditions. It's the one way I can get back in touch with Helen. And I don't see how I can be rude to you again if you're not around to interfere with me.
And what are your intentions if I say no? Pack the other half for home and leave your charge to, well, like...
The asylum? I grew up in such an asylum. The state almshouse. Rats, why? My brother Jimmy and I used to play with the rats because we didn't have toys. Maybe you'd like to know what Helen will find there? Not on visiting days? One ward was full of the old women, crippled, blind, most of them dying, and given what they had was catching. They had nowhere to move, and that's where they put us. There were younger ones across the hall. Prostitutes mostly with TB and epileptic fits, and a couple of the kind who kept after other girls, especially young ones, and some insane. Some just had the DTs. The youngest were in another ward to have babies they didn't want. They started at 13, 14. They'd leave afterwards, but the babies stayed, and we got to play with them. Most of them had sores over their bodies from diseases that you're not supposed to talk about, and not many of them lived. That first year, we had 80. 70 died. Jim and I used to play in the dead house where they kept the bodies so they could dig up enough of the graves.
Miss Amy.
No! It made me strong. But I don't think you need to send Helen there. She's strong enough. No, I have no conditions, Captain Keller.
Miss Amy,
Yes.
where would you take Helen?
Oh, Italy.
What?
Well, you can't have everything. How would this guarding house do? Furnish it? Bring her here after long journey so she doesn't know where she is. And you can see her every day as long as she doesn't know.
Is that all?
That's all.
Well, I think, with your permission, Captain.
Why must she depend on you for the food that she eats?
I want control of it.
Why?
It's a way to reach her.
You intend to starve her into letting you touch her?
She won't starve, she'll learn. I'll spare 11 more, Captain Keller. You never cut supplies?
Now this is hardly a war!
Well, it's not love either! A siege is a siege!
Miss Sullivan, do you like the child?
Do you?
Miss Amy. Miss Amy. You could have a servant live here.
I'll have enough work without looking after a servant. At that point, Percy can sleep here and run errands.
I think we could let Percy sleep here, couldn't we, Captain?
And some furniture all our own.
And there's that old walnut bedstead.
I have not yet consented to Percy. Order this house, order this proposal, order Miss Sullivan staying on when I have clearly decided. Very well, I consent to everything. But for 2 weeks, I will give you 2 weeks in this place, and it will be a miracle if you can get that child to tolerate you.
2 weeks. Can you accomplish anything in 2 weeks?
Anything or not, 2 weeks, and then the child comes back to us. Now make up your mind, Miss Sullivan, yes or no.
2 weeks. Only one miracle? I'll get her to tolerate me.
Oh, Miss Annie, surely you can't think as little of love as you say you do, or you wouldn't stay here.
I didn't come for love. I came for money.
What?
A. It's the first of many. 26. I always wanted to live in a doll's house.
You don't like openings easily, do you? How will you win her hand now, in this place?
Do I know? I lost my temper, and here we are.
No touching, no teaching. Of course you're bigger and stronger.
I'm not counting on force, I'm counting on her. That little imp is dying to know.
Know what?
Anything. Any and every crumb in God's creation. Have to use that appetite, too.
Maybe she'll teach you.
Of course.
That she isn't, that there's such thing as dullness of heart, acceptance and letting go. Sooner or later we all give up, don't we?
Maybe you all do. It's my idea of the original sin,
What is?
giving up.
You won't open her. Why can't you let her be? Have some pity on her for being who she is.
If I ever once thought like that, I'd be dead.
You will be. Why trouble? Or will you teach me?
Does she know where she is?
Oh no. We've been out riding around for 2 hours.
For all she knows, she could be in another town.
Oh, that's her sign for me, Miss Annie.
I know.
Well, that means Johnny.
In 2 weeks.
Miss Annie, this next 2 weeks, I need you to be very good to her. Will you please try? Just be very good to her.
I will. What did I get into now?
Now, I do not understand it. I had every intention of dismissing that girl, not setting her up like an empress.
Yes, what's her secret, sir?
Secret?
That enables her to get anything she wants out of you and I can't.
Boy, she does not get anything.
Captain!
Oh, he's afraid. What does he want out of me?
My God! Don't you know? Everything! You forgot him! You forgot my mother!
What? Boy, I tell you one thing, her secret is not. She doesn't fire one shot and then disappear. Katie, don't mind
Oh,
what he said.
Captain, no, I am proud of you
For what?
for giving my girl everything she needs.
Well, why can't my son be? I mean, he can't bear me. Think I'd treat him as hard as that girl does Helen.
Well, perhaps you do.
He needs to learn some respect.
Well, do you like the child? Oh, my, the house is awfully quiet tonight.
No. No pity. I won't have it. On either of us. I will touch you! How? How? How do I? Percy. Percy! Get out of bed and come in here! Come on, I need you! Percy, you awake?
No.
How should I play a nice game?
What?
With Helen. She's under the bed. Touch her hand.
Let me go. Let me go. She trying to talk. She gonna hit me.
She can talk. If only she knew. She makes letters. Here, I'll show you. This is C. C. She's mad at me now, though, so she won't play. But she knows lots of letters. There's another one. A. C. A. C. A. C-A-K-E. She smells cake, she gets cake. She doesn't yet know that it means this. Isn't it funny she knows how to spell it, but doesn't know she knows? Fine. If she won't play with me, I'll play it with you. Would you like to learn one that she doesn't know?
No.
M-I-L-K. M is this. I, that's an easy one. It's just the little finger. L is this. No. Why should I play with you? give you a word. L is this, and K is just like this. Jealous, are you? All right. M. I. L. K. M. I. L. K. Good. So I'm back to where I can touch you, Touch and go. No love lost there, but here we are. You can go back to bed now, Percy. You've earned your sleep. Thank you. Now all I have to do is teach you one word. Everything. Hush, little baby. Don't say a word.